Hello everyone. We will see our next chapter, that is shear force and bending moment. Okay. So first of all we will see the introduction about the topic. Generally, in this chapter we will study the effect of forces applied on the transverse axis. Okay. And due to that transfer force, whatever the shear force and bending moment which are included into the beam, that we have to analyze and to plot the shear force diagram and bending moment diagram. That is the main aim of this chapter. Okay. In this chapter we will just only deals with the statically determinate beam, that is the beam which can be analyzed directly from the static equilibrium equation, that is summation of fx, summation of fy, moment about point A, B. Okay, it is called statically equilibrium equation. By using this condition, static equilibrium condition, we can analyze the beam. Okay, so this is general idea about the shear force and bending moment topic. Okay, now so that's why I have written here, it is just only deals with the only a statically determinate beams. Means in this case we can analyze the beam with the help of static equilibrium equations such as summation of fx, summation of fy, moment. By taking these conditions we can analytically solve the unknown terms and find out the answer. Okay, now let us see. Generally, beam is classified as four types, such as a simply supported beam, second one overhang beam, third one cantilever beam, and continuous beam. These are the four general classification of any beam. Okay, so beam is classified into simply supported, overhang beam, cantilever beam, and continuous beam. Okay, now we will study first of all what is meant by beam. It is a horizontal structure member. This is horizontal structural member. It is a horizontal structural member supported along the length. For example, this is point A, this is point B, this is RA and RB. Okay, a horizontal structure member supported along the length and supported to load transfers to its axis. For example, a load W is acting at its middle position. This is length L, so it is acting at a length of L by 2. Okay, so it is horizontal member supported along its end and load is acting along the axis to its transverse axis. It is called as a beam, and this beam is classified into four types, such as a simply supported beam, overhang beam, cantilever beam, and continuous beam. We will study one by one what is meant by simply supported, overhang, cantilever beam, and continuous beam. Okay, so first of all, a simply supported beam. So this is diagram. This is a beam. To its to end, a support is given. For example, this is point A, this is point B. To its end, A and B, these are the support reactions. Okay, so simply supported beam, a beam which are just rest on its support. The beam which are just rests on its support is called as a simply supported beam. As the name indicates, simply supported, it is supported at its end. It is called as a simply supported beam. Okay, now next, overhang beam. So these are the two diagrams. Okay, so what is meant by overhang beam? The beam whose one end is rigidly fixed, the beam whose end portion are extended beyond its support. Okay, for example, these are the two supports. This is the extended portion. For example, this is point A and this is point B. So these are the two support, but beyond this support there is a overhang position. Okay, so the beam whose end portion, this is end portion, are extended beyond the support, this is extension portion. From this point to this point, this is extended because these are the two supports. Okay, beyond this support there is extension. Okay, So the beam whose end portion are extended beyond its support either from one side or both side. For example, this is both side. This is overhanging position, this is overhanging position. Okay, for example, this is point A, this is point B. From these two supports, there is a overhanging condition to the right side, and this is overhang condition to the left side. Okay, such a beam is called as overhang beam. Okay, either to its one end or either to its both end overhanging condition, it is called as a overhang beam. Next is cantilever beam. So this is diagram for cantilever beam. This is fixed support and beam is in hanging position. Okay, so the beam whose one end is rigidly fixed, this is fixed support, and the other end is free, this is free end, there is no another support to its other side. Okay, so one end just only fixed and other is free, it's called as a cantilever beam. While solving the problem, why we are seeing this topic? Because while solving the problem you must be able to differentiate between simply supported beam, overhang beam and cantilever beam and etc. Because the problem depending upon the various conditions. Okay, so first of all you must be able to understood what is meant by simply supported beam, what is meant by overhang beam, what is the difference between overhang beam and simply supported beam, because here is only two support to its other end, but there is an intermediate support and one side is hanging position. Okay, so in cantilever beam one end is fixed and other is in a free condition. So these are the basic differences in all the beams. Okay, so try to understood. I hope so you are getting. Next, cantilever beam. Fourth beam is a cantilever beam. So what do you mean by cantilever beam? Continuous beam. The beam which is rest on more than two support. In previous there is a two support, there is only two support, this is one support, this is second support, this is one, this is second, this is one, this is second, this is support. Okay, so there is only two support or one support, but if the more than two support, there are three support, first, second and third. So the beam which is rest on more than two support, this is point A, this is point B, this is point C. So these are the more than two support, there 1 2 3 support are there. So the beam which is rest on more than two support, it is called as a continuous beam. Okay, very simple. I hope so you are understood. Now we will study the type of support. Okay, these are the 1 2 3 support, but these support also have a different type. So what are the various type of support? Such as first one roller support, second one hinge support and third one fixed support. Okay, so these are the three types of supports. Now we will study one by one roller support. So this is diagram for the roller support. While solving the problem you will see such a type of ends to the beam, it is called as a roller support. Okay, so this is a general figure for the roller support. So what is meant by roller support? A roller support has only one reaction which is always normal to the contact surface. Okay, in case of roller support there is only one reaction which is normal to the contact surface. This is reaction. Whatever the arrow I have shown here with the letter R, it is called as a reaction. So there is only one reaction to its normal surface. This is somewhat inclined portion. Here also there is only one reaction, R, normal to the surface. Okay, next is hinge support. Hinge support has a restriction to the movement along the x and y direction. Okay, this is x direction, this is y direction. Okay, it has a two reaction, that's why this is Rx and Ry. Okay, because it has a restriction to along the x axis and y axis, that's why there are two reaction induced in this section, that is Rx and Ry. Okay, and in the problem, while solving the problem we will see such type of ends to the beam. It is nothing but the hinge support. Try to understood from the figure. Okay, third one is fixed support. If you will see such a type of diagram, that is somewhat hatching portion to its end. Okay, it is nothing but fixed support, and it has a restriction to the movement along x and y direction as well as the rotation about that point. Okay, so there are three reactions in this section, that is HA, VA and moment. Okay, so these are the three support we have seen, that is roller support, hinge support and fixed support. I hope so you are getting. Now let us study the next point, type of load. Okay, whatever the load which is I have shown here, for example this is load W. This load has a different type. This is point load because acting at a single point, so it is called as a point load. But this load is acting on a beam in a various type. Okay, so what are the various type of this load which are acting on the beam? We will see. Okay, so type of load, it is classified into three types, that is concentrated or point load, second one uniformly distributed load, and third one uniformly varying load. These are the three types of load which are acting on any beam. Okay, so we will see one by one. Concentrated or point load. Okay, for example this is point A, this is point E, these are the two ends and load is acting at a middle section, that is load W. It is called as a concentrated load because, or point load, because it is acting at a single point, that's why it is called as a point load. Okay, a load which is acting at a single point, it is called as a point load. As the name indicate point, this is the point which is acting at a single point, that's why it is called as a point load. Okay, next is uniformly distributed load. Uniformly distributed load, while solving the problem, that can be shown by such a pattern. Okay, this is the indication of uniformly distributed load. If we see such a type of diagram in while solving the problem, then it is nothing but a uniformly distributed load. Okay, so a load which is uniformly spread over the beam, because this is beam and load is uniformly spread along the length of beam, it is called as a uniformly distributed load. Okay, in that case, how to convert this uniformly distributed load into the point load? There is one formula, that is equivalent point load is equal to this W, because this is load W, into the length, that is W into L is nothing but the point load. We can convert this uniformly distributed load into the point load by using this formula, because while solving the problem it is necessary to convert this uniformly distributed load into the point load. So how to convert this uniformly distributed load into the point load? By using this formula, that is equivalent point load is equal to this weight W, which is already given in the problem statement, and length is also given, so multiply W by L, it is nothing but the equivalent point load. And how to represent that point load acting on the beam? That is nothing but L by 2. Divide this length by 2 and show by a point load. Okay, I hope so you are understood what I am saying to you. For example, this is point A, this is point B, this is point A, this is point B. We want to convert this uniformly distributed load into the point load. Okay, so how to convert? Point load is nothing but this is point load. Okay, so how to convert? This W is given, W into L, whatever the calculation which is coming, show here by showing the arrow. And how to represent this point? Because for example this is point C, we want to require to find out the location where this uniformly this point load is acting, so that can be find out by L by 2. So divide this L by 2, and this is nothing but L by 2, this is L by 2. Okay, so we have converted this into this point load. Okay, now third one is uniformly varying load. Uniformly varying load by shown by such a diagram in the exam. Okay, so this is a general structure of uniformly varying load. This is W per unit length, this is length is given. So in this case, if the intensity of loading increases or decreases at a constant rate, increases or decreases. Okay, because this is increases at a constant rate is constant. Okay, uniformly varying load is nothing but if the intensity of loading increases or decreases at a constant rate, it is called as a uniformly varying load or triangular load. It is also called as a triangle. This is just like as a triangle, that's why it is also called as a triangular load. In that case, how to convert this uniformly varying load into the point load again? Because we want to find out this W, that can be found by intensity of load is equal to W into L divided by 2. This W is given, L is given, divided by 2, we will get intensity of load, this is W, and that location can be find out acting at a 2L by 3 or L by 3. Okay, next, so this is about a type of load. Next point, main important point again in this chapter is, because this is our target, shear force and bending moment. They are saying to us that find out the shear force and bending moment and draw the shear force diagram and bending moment diagram. Okay, that may be possible. They will ask for the 6 marks to 12 marks that problem. Okay, so very simple problem, just try to understand some basic term. If you are getting that term, then it is very simple to solve any type of problem. Okay, so shear force. What is meant by shear force? The shear force at the cross section of beam defined as the algebraic sum of all unbalanced forces either to the left or to the right. Okay, what is meant by shear force? It is the algebraic sum of the forces which are acting to the left or to the right of the section. It is called as a shear force. Okay, for example, shear force is equal to summation of vertical forces to the left or summation of vertical forces to the right. It is nothing but shear force. Okay, for example, in this case we are using one sign convention. For example, the forces, this is section XX I have shown here, it is nothing but a section which is I have taken for the beam. So the forces which are acting to the left side of section and forces which are acting to the right side of section, if it is in a vertical condition and if it is in a downward condition, it is nothing but a positive. And if such a condition is there, if the forces along the section to the left or right side, it is to the left side downward direction and to the right side it is upward direction, it is taken as a negative. This sign convention is very important while solving the problem. Okay, what I am saying to you, we are using one sign convention while solving the problem. This is XX is the section I have taken, this XX is the section I have taken. We are using one sign convention. This is positive and this is negative. When we take positive sign and when we take negative sign, this is the concept I am explaining to you. Okay, once again I am repeating it. If to the left side of section force is acting vertical and to the right side of section force is acting downward direction, it is nothing but the positive. If reverse condition is there, if the from the section to the left downward direction and to the right upward direction, it is taken as a negative sign. Okay, and that sign convention we are using while solving the problem. Okay, next is bending moment. So what is meant by bending moment? What is meant by bending moment? The bending moment at any cross section of beam is defined as algebraic sum of moment of all the forces either to the left or to the right. Okay, algebraic sum of all the forces to the left or to the right, it is nothing but a bending moment. Okay, algebraic sum of moment of forces to the left or to the right, it is nothing but a bending moment, because whenever we are applying any force on any beam, there is a bend